Now, the family of a Doncaster cancer teenager are urging people from BAME backgrounds to register as stem cell donors. Joel Esan died earlier this month at the age of 17 from a rare type of leukemia, but he wanted to leave a legacy of raising money for charities that had helped him and his family. Joel's brother, Patrice, set up a GoFundMe page in his memory. Good afternoon, Patrice.
Good afternoon.
Thanks very much indeed for talking to us. Now, first of all, tell us a bit about Joel. What was he like as a brother and about that terrible leukemia that he had?
Yeah, well, I mean, he was the best brother you could really ask for. I mean, he was obviously he was just so kind, so giving towards all of us. He was the youngest brother out of all of us. There were 6 of us all together, and he was the youngest. So everyone kind of always wanted to look out for him and look after him. Obviously, having a lot of older brothers and one sister as well, he looked up to us, to the things that we'd done in our lives. For example, getting married, going to uni, different things like that. So he was quite ambitious to the things he wanted in his future. So of course he wanted a lot of different things, and he kind of told us different dreams he had, like traveling, different things like that. So he was just such an ambitious boy, really. Obviously, when he was 16 in November 2018, we found out that he did have leukemia, and obviously was a big hit on his life and our life, and it impacted things so much, and it changed obviously the way of our life completely altogether. It was obviously such a long journey that we had. It was 19 months of kind of different kind of treatments, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, a stem cell transplant, which a lot of things which obviously took a lot out of him, really. I mean, it kind of destroyed his body, is kind of building himself back up. It was just a lot of different things that just affected him in such obviously a hard way. But I mean, throughout the whole thing, he didn't complain. He just got on with it. He just kind of took it in his stride and just continued every treatment that he needed, until we found out that there was kind of no more treatment that would actually help the disease itself. So he did everything he could to get that healing that was required, really.
And at the point when he could do no more, he made an incredible decision, didn't he? He wanted to do something to help other people in the future. Tell us a bit about that. Yeah,
so basically that kind of started because when we were in hospital, there was also another boy on the ward who actually has passed away just before Joel as well. And he had set up also like a fund for one of the cancer charities as well. And obviously, when we were speaking to him and speaking to his mum about it, we spoke to Joel about it as well, and he straight away went, if I was ever in that position, that's something I definitely want to do. Obviously, at that time, we knew nothing about the position Joel would be in when he would be told that, there's nothing more that he could do. So when we found out a couple of months later that, you are in the position of the boy we did meet in hospital, straight away he just said, I want to raise money for the charities that obviously helped us all the way through. I mean, there were so many charities that helped us in everything. We stayed in hospital. Someone stayed in every single night in hospital. So it meant that there was kind of costs in terms of travel, food, all these different things that the hospital helped us as a family with. But of course, they helped Joel kind of mentally, physically, making sure that he stays strong throughout the whole journey. So it's something straight away he said that he wanted to raise money for that. He didn't maybe know as much as the statistics that we've kind of found out into the actual disease and actually being able to donate and what kind of backgrounds have donated, things like that. But he straight away wanted to raise money for the charities because he was just thankful for what they'd done, and wanted to help people in the future in the same way.
So you've taken his wishes on board, and there's this GoFundMe page which you've sorted out. Yeah. What is the hope that you're going to do with that page?
Well, of course, the hope is that we do raise money. Of course, we've got a £10,000 target which we want to hit, and hopefully surpass that target and be able to give back to those charities that have helped us, that they can then help other people in the same position in the future. But in all honesty, it's not really about the money that we're looking for. What we want to do is raise awareness, because like I said, when we found out about the actual statistics behind leukemia and stem cell transplants, things like that, it was shocking to kind of know exactly the statistics there. So, for example, we are from the BAME community, and because we are, and Joel was, he only had a 20% chance of actually getting a full donor, which was obviously quite a small chance, in all honesty, on there, compared to white European community, which has a 70% chance. For us, of course, 70% chance, it's a lot higher, but it's still something that we want that number to be much higher than 70%. But of course, for a BAME community, we want it to be a lot higher than the 20% that it is. So our main aim is to raise that awareness, because a lot of people don't know, and we've seen that already, people reaching out to us. No one really knows about that it is only a 20% chance, and no one really knows that they can donate. So it's something we want to let people know so that they can then move forward, donate, spread the word, get as many people as we can to donate, and hopefully those statistics will firstly go up and it will be much more than 20%. Because, of course, what we want to do is stop this situation happening again. Joel was in a situation where, like I said, he couldn't find a full donor, so he had to go for a donor, which was my mum, which was only a 50% match, which obviously reduced his chances of the disease being beaten. And obviously, in the end, it did mean that it wasn't beaten in terms of that. Obviously, if he did get a 100% match, then there was more of a chance of actually beating the disease.
Well, I wish you well with the campaign. The GoFundMe page that you've set up, 4 days ago it went on, didn't it?
Yes,
what kind of response have you had?
It's been an amazing response, straight from minute one when we kind of shared it on social media. Everyone, kind of his friends, just even obviously family, and then just the general public, they just obviously started sending lots of messages. They obviously started donating, and I think it's just a story that really touched a lot of people in general, because in a situation like this can happen to anyone. It's not something that's specific to Joel. It could happen to anyone at all. He was only a 16-year-old boy who was at college. He'd just gone to college. He's playing football every week. He's doing everything normal what a 16-year-old boy should be doing. And then all of a sudden, this cancer hits him. So I think people have really kind of resonated with it and gone, that could have been me, or that could have been my children. So I think people, of course, want to then go, okay, let's spread the awareness, because if I was in the same situation, I would not want my child or my friend's child or anything like that to be in that situation where they couldn't find a donor, which would hopefully save their life.
Well, it's a very powerful story, and I wish you all the very best with the fundraising. And thanks ever so much for talking to us, Patrice.
No, thank you very much, and take care.
That's GoFundMe page, by the way, that we mentioned. You can go to GoFundMe website. You can search for Joel Esan, E-S-A-N, and you'll find the details there if you wish to help.